The unlikely threat. In the vast and peaceful galaxy, humans were known for their diplomacy, kindness, and dedication to maintaining harmony among the stars. Despite their modest beginnings, they had become a trusted ally to many species, always ready to lend a helping hand. This made them a unique presence in the galactic community, one that others respected, but few truly understood. This peaceful existence was suddenly threatened when the Turkonians, a ruthless empire known for their military prowess and desire for conquest, decided to set their sights on Earth. They viewed humans as weak and saw an opportunity to claim new territory with minimal resistance. To the Turkonians, Earth was nothing more than a stepping stone to greater power. The Galactic Council, an assembly of representatives from various intelligent species, was stunned when they learned of the Turkonian plans. Many of them were concerned for humanity, believing that the humans, though resourceful, would not stand a chance against the Turkonian war machine. But there were whispers among the elder races, rumors of an ancient power that humanity might possess, something lost to time but devastating in its potential. However, these rumors were dismissed as mere myths, old tales with no basis in reality. As the Turkonians prepared their invasion fleet, humanity continued their daily lives, unaware of the imminent danger. But the human spirit, ever resilient, was about to be tested in ways no one could have predicted. The invasion begins. The Turkonian fleet arrived at the edge of the solar system, their ships cutting through the void like a swarm of predatory beasts. The Galactic Council watched with a mix of fear and resignation, believing that humanity would soon be overwhelmed. The Turkonian forces were unmatched in their strength and tactical brilliance, and they had crushed countless civilizations before. Earth's defense forces scrambled to respond, their technology primitive compared to the Turkonian warships. But humanity had always been resourceful, adapting quickly to new threats. The leaders of Earth made a desperate decision. They would use every weapon at their disposal, no matter how ancient or experimental. As the Turkonians approached, humanity unleashed a barrage of conventional weapons. Missiles, lasers, and railguns fired relentlessly at the invading ships, but the Turkonian shields were too strong, and the human defenses began to crumble. It seemed that all hope was lost. But then something extraordinary happened. In the darkest hour, Earth's military command activated a protocol that had not been used in millennia. It was a last resort, a weapon so powerful that it had been buried deep within the Earth's crust, sealed away to ensure it would never be unleashed unless absolutely necessary. The weapon was known as the Sun's Wrath, an ancient relic from a time long forgotten. It was said to harness the energy of the sun itself, focusing it into a beam of pure destruction. As the Turkonians closed in, humanity activated the weapon, aiming it at the heart of the Turkonian fleet. The power unleashed. The sky above Earth lit up as the Sun's Wrath was activated. A blinding beam of energy shot out from the planet's surface, piercing through the darkness of space. The Turkonian ships, once invincible, were suddenly vulnerable. The beam cut through their shields and armor like a knife through butter, reducing their once mighty fleet to ash in mere moments. The Galactic Council watched in awe as the impossible unfolded before their eyes. The Turkonian Empire, feared throughout the galaxy, had been brought to its knees by a single devastating strike. The humans had not only survived, but had unleashed a power that rivaled the most feared weapons in the galaxy's history. As the remnants of the Turkonian fleet retreated in disarray, humanity stood victorious. But this victory came at a cost. The use of the Sun's Wrath had drained the planet's resources, and its activation had sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy. The weapon was a double-edged sword, powerful enough to destroy any enemy, but also capable of devastating the planet that wielded it. Earth's leaders knew they had to be careful. The weapon had saved them this time, but it was not something they could rely on again. They would need to find another way to protect their planet, one that didn't involve the potential destruction of their own home. The aftermath. News of humanity's victory spread quickly across the galaxy. The Turkonians, once feared and respected, were now viewed with a mixture of pity and disdain. Their empire, built on conquest and bloodshed, had been shattered by a race they had considered weak and insignificant. The Galactic Council, however, was more concerned than ever. The existence of the Sun's Wrath posed a significant threat to the balance of power in the galaxy. They knew that if such a weapon fell into the wrong hands, it could spell disaster for countless worlds. In response, the Council summoned Earth's leaders to a meeting. They demanded to know more about the weapon and insisted that it be dismantled immediately. But Earth's representatives were not so easily swayed. They understood the Council's concerns, but they also knew that without the Sun's wrath, they would have been destroyed. A tense negotiation ensued, with Earth's leaders arguing that the weapon was their only means of defense against the galaxy's more powerful species. The Council, on the other hand, was adamant that the weapon could not be allowed to exist. They feared that its power would inevitably lead to more conflict and destruction. In the end, a compromise was reached. Earth would dismantle the Sun's wrath, but in exchange, the Galactic Council would guarantee the planet's security. A new treaty was signed, ensuring that any attack on Earth would be met with the full force of the Council's military. It was a fragile peace, but it was the best that could be achieved under the circumstances. The rising tensions. While the peace held, tensions simmered beneath the surface. Many in the galaxy were wary of humanity, seeing them as a dangerous wild card. The destruction of the Turconian fleet had been a wake-up call, and many species began to prepare for the possibility of future conflicts. Earth, too, was not at ease. The loss of the Sun's wrath left them vulnerable, and there were those who believed that the Galactic Council's promise of protection was not enough. Secretly, human scientists and engineers began to work on new weapons and technologies, determined to ensure that they would never be caught off guard again. Meanwhile, the remnants of the Turconian Empire were regrouping. Humiliated and weakened, they were determined to rebuild their strength and take revenge on the humans who had brought them low. They began to forge new alliances, reaching out to other species who had grievances against Earth. The galaxy was on the brink of another war, and this time, it would be far more devastating than anything that had come before. The stage was set for a conflict that would determine the fate of countless worlds. The final battle. As tensions reached their peak, it became clear that war was inevitable. The Turconians, now allied with several other species, launched a massive invasion fleet, far larger than anything the galaxy had ever seen. Their goal was simple: to destroy Earth and eliminate humanity once and for all. The Galactic Council, true to their word, mobilized their forces to defend Earth. But the Turconian alliance was too powerful, and the Council's fleet was quickly overwhelmed. It seemed that humanity's fate was sealed. But humanity had not been idle. In secret, they had developed new weapons, drawing on the knowledge they had gained from the Sun's wrath. These new weapons, though not as powerful as the ancient relic, were still formidable. They included advanced energy shields, powerful railguns, and a new class of starships designed for hit-and-run tactics. As the Turconian fleet descended on Earth, they were met with fierce resistance. The battle was long and brutal, with both sides suffering heavy losses. But in the end, it was humanity's ingenuity and determination that won the day. The Turconian alliance was shattered, their ships destroyed, and their leaders captured. The final battle had been won, but at a great cost. Earth had been devastated, and many lives had been lost. But humanity had proven once again that they were not to be underestimated. They had faced the greatest threat the galaxy had ever known and emerged victorious. A new beginning. With the war over, the galaxy began to rebuild. The Turconian Empire was no more, and Earth had emerged as a new power in the galaxy. But humanity was not interested in conquest or domination. They had seen the horrors of war and were determined to prevent such a conflict from ever happening again. The Galactic Council, recognizing humanity's strength and wisdom, offered them a permanent seat on the council. Earth's leaders accepted, and together with the other species, They worked to create a new era of peace and cooperation. But humanity did not forget the lessons they had learned. They continued to develop new technologies, always ready to defend themselves if the need arose. They knew that peace was fragile and that the galaxy was full of dangers, but they were prepared, and they would face any challenge with the same resilience and determination that had seen them through the darkest of times. And so, the story of humanity's rise to power became a legend, a tale of courage, ingenuity, and the unbreakable spirit of a species that refused to be conquered. The galaxy would never be the same, and humanity had secured its place among the stars.